The story of Scots settlers in 19th-century Argentina is one of ambition, adaptation, and resilience in the pursuit of new opportunities. During this period, many Scots sought to escape economic hardships, overpopulation, and limited prospects in Scotland. Argentina, with its growing demand for agricultural labor and promises of land ownership, attracted Scottish emigrants who hoped to build better lives. The Scottish settlers brought with them farming skills, a strong work ethic, and a sense of community, but they faced various challenges in their new environment. Arriving in Argentina throughout the 19th century, the Scots primarily established agricultural colonies in rural areas, particularly in the provinces of Buenos Aires, Entre Rios, and Santa Fe. The Argentine government, eager to develop its agricultural sector and populate the vast Pampas, encouraged European immigration by offering incentives such as land grants. The Scots embraced these opportunities, forming small farming communities where they cultivated crops like wheat, oats, and barley, and raised livestock such as sheep and cattle. These agricultural activities were familiar to the Scottish settlers, whose homeland had a long history of farming and animal husbandry. However, the transition to life in Argentina was not without difficulties. One of the most significant challenges was the language barrier, as the Scottish settlers often spoke little or no Spanish. This made it hard to communicate with local authorities, trade partners, and neighboring communities. The language barrier complicated legal matters, business transactions, and everyday interactions, often resulting in misunderstandings or delays. To overcome these difficulties, many Scots learned basic Spanish over time, while some younger generations became bilingual, bridging the gap between the Scottish colonies and the broader Argentine society. Legal disputes were another major challenge for the Scots settlers, particularly regarding land ownership and contracts. The legal system in Argentina was different from that in Scotland, and unfamiliarity with local laws often left the Scots vulnerable to exploitation or unfavorable agreements. Land titles were sometimes disputed, and settlers faced issues such as unclear boundaries, conflicting claims, or even fraudulent sales. Navigating these legal challenges required perseverance, and some Scots sought the assistance of local legal experts to help defend their rights or resolve disputes. Despite these obstacles, the Scots maintained their cultural identity, establishing tight-knit communities that reflected their Scottish heritage. They built schools, churches, and social clubs where they could speak their native language, celebrate traditional festivals, and continue practices such as Highland dancing and bagpiping. Religion, particularly Presbyterianism, played a central role in their lives, with churches often serving as community centers that provided spiritual and social support. The preservation of cultural traditions helped the Scots to maintain a sense of unity and resilience in the face of adversity. The Scots also contributed significantly to the development of Argentina's agricultural sector. Their knowledge of farming techniques and livestock management proved valuable in transforming the Pampas into productive farmland. Scottish settlers introduced new breeds of cattle and sheep, improved farming methods, and promoted crop diversification. These innovations not only benefited their own communities, but also had a broader impact on the Argentine economy. The success of some Scottish farmers attracted more Scots to the country, leading to the gradual expansion of their colonies. Over time, as the Scots integrated more into Argentine society, their communities began to change. While the first generation of settlers often clung tightly to their Scottish roots, subsequent generations embraced a dual identity, blending Scottish customs with Argentine traditions. Intermarriage with other immigrant groups and locals became more common, and younger Scots spoke Spanish fluently, often identifying as both Scottish and Argentine. This cultural blending helped to ease the initial isolation experienced by the early settlers, allowing them to participate more fully in the social and economic life of the country. The legacy of Scottish settlers in Argentina is still visible today. Their influence can be seen in place names, family surnames, and cultural institutions that celebrate Scottish heritage, such as annual Highland Games and St. Andrew's Day events. Additionally, some agricultural practices introduced by the Scots have become integral to the local farming culture. The story of the Scots settlers illustrates the complexities of migration, where hopes for prosperity had to be balanced with the realities of language barriers, legal struggles, and cultural adaptation. Nonetheless, their perseverance helped shape the development of Argentina, leaving a lasting mark on the nation's agricultural and cultural landscape.